Noble, and I am the brand coach and web designer for Vivid Visual Solutions. So what I'm here to talk to you guys about is about having a website for your business and why you actually need one. So I'll start my PowerPoint now. Vivid Visual Solutions has services such as graphic design, photography, SEO, social media training and management, photography, private brand coaching, brand identity creation, and web design, of course, which I'm talking to you about today, and marketing. So what I will be talking to you about in this presentation is why you need a website, and what you need on that website, why you need to keep it updated regularly, and how to bring traffic to your website. Oops. So what type of websites are out there? There are the informational sites, the e-commerce sites, and blogs, which you can monetize, as well as e-commerce sites. But they're all your digital storefront. And it's there for you 24/7 so that you do not have to be online 24/7 to help people. It actually represents your brand and who you are and your product at all times. And what it can give you is credibility, branding opportunities, better customer service, new customers, and returning customers. You can make money with it while you sleep, basically. So what is credibility? A lot of times you can say that you're credible, but when you have a storefront, when you have your brick and mortar, when you have your website, and you show a brand and you're showing that you're really investing in your business and your brand, because you have a professional website, when you think of somebody who is possibly like selling jewelry or something, and if somebody walked up to you on the corner and said, hey, I got this beautiful necklace and you could get it for whatever amount of dollars, and you can get it now, or when, and you can take it with you right now for however much money. You're not going to trust that person because they don't have an actual store. They don't have business cards. They haven't invested in a website. They haven't shown that they want to really invest in their brand and in their company. So you're not going to trust them and want to give them your money. Whereas a website can help with that, as well as if you have your business cards and your logo and all that together, it just makes you look professional. So what we want to show on our websites, like I said, we want to show our brand, and that it can incorporate more things besides logo. It incorporates the logo as well as the colors that are in the website, as well as the imagery that's put on the website, how professional things are done, whether it functions correctly, how you respond, whether you have a contact form in order to talk to someone, if they do contact you, how fast you actually get back to them, whether you have an email list that people can get on, and those type of things, that's all incorporated within your brand. When I worked on this site for a client, I did the logo as well as her website, Amy Pryor Massage Therapy. She's not only a massage therapist, but she also is from Thailand. So she wanted to incorporate that in her logo as well as her website. And I just, I think that, if I remember correctly, the lily is actually their flower. So I incorporated that as an homage to her heritage, as well as within the logo. If you know Thai, she actually, the symbols in the logo represent her name. So all that was incorporated into the website, as well as, you know, the warm colors of the website. And we'll talk about color later, but the feminine colors of the pink, because a lot of her clients were actually were female. So in order to incorporate all this together, I created this warm color palette and incorporated her logo, which she uses on her website as well as her business cards. And in talking about color, colors can create a mood. And as you can see with this website from Acon Counseling, she is a therapist. And a lot of that has to do with restoring a relationship, growing the relationship. And so that's why we incorporated the green, and then there's browns, and that's kind of like a stability. And, you know, colors create mood. They actually are a symbol to us here in the U.S., as well as it could be different for other countries. But they create a mood. They can even, you know, make you think of things in your past. A lot of times, if you use red, that's like a passionate color or something that is urgent. So if you have a website that is all in red, then you better have a fast website, because when people think of red, they think of fast cars, they think of things of that nature. So we really want to pay attention to those things. And a lot of times, if you're working with a professional designer or a professional branding coach, we look at all those type of things and ask all these type of questions. Well, how do you want your client, your customer to feel? What mood do you want them to come in and leave out away from your website? So a lot of that can be incorporated into the fonts that we use, as well as the colors that we use on the website. So now I also want to talk to you guys about imagery. Imagery is a very important aspect of websites. They give people clues as to actually what do you do. You can have a logo that says that you're one thing, but if your imagery tells them a whole different story, then that doesn't work. This particular client actually is an IT company, and they cater to the manufacturing sector of IT. So they only work, they're very niche. They only work with manufacturing. So I incorporated those type of imageries of people actually working within a manufacturing facility, as well as I show people actually doing IT work. And this gives visual cues when people come to the website to say, oh, okay, I know what this is, and this is actually what I'm here for. So I'll look further into it. And actually, you want your imagery to reflect back to your customer exactly who they are, so that they'll see themselves using your product or your merchandise or your service. So when I said visual cues, and this goes for social media or imagery for your website, a lot of times now people have very short attention spans. So when they come to a site, they need to see it right away. They need to see exactly what they're looking for. So when you look at these numbers, 94% are looking at visuals in order to figure out what they're going to do online. And they're usually on their phone, or they're sitting in front of a computer. They have their kids sitting here and wanting something, or they got to make dinner, or they have to get to this other place. They need to be able to see it and see it quick, and it needs to load fast. So you have to have your images that are clear and concise and small, so that they load up quickly, so that they get that visual cue right away as to is this where I want to be? Is this the site that is for me? So in talking about visual cues, we as designers also use visual cues in order to navigate or direct you to what we want you to see. This was actually a study that was done to see how this works. So you notice at the top, the very top image, that everybody was focused on the baby because, the baby was probably real cute, it's a little cute Gerber baby. So you see it's in red. So that means that they really focused on the baby. What's in the greens and the light yellows are the things that they looked at. As a secondary view. So then in the lower image, you'll see that because they turned the baby and the baby is focused on the actual content, that made the people actually look, and their eyes were guided to that content. So a lot of times you'll see images that are kind of off to the side and actually turn toward and looking at the content. They're guiding your eye to what they actually want you to see. Okay, so I get this question sometimes, or people send me images for their website that are selfies. Should you or should you not use selfies? I'm going to say pretty much a no, unless you are a celebrity or someone who is branding themselves sort of like a celebrity. Then you use selfies and things that you've taken with your iPhone camera. That's when it's appropriate. Or if you're, you can take pictures with your iPhone. Like this picture was taken with an iPhone or an Android phone, and you can probably use it if it's appropriate for your website content. It's a beautiful sunset, but is it appropriate? So we need to keep that in mind when we're finding images for our sites. We also need them to be high resolution because we're going to use them, and we want them to look clear when they get on these large monitors or on these large laptops, because if they start looking pixelated, then that's an indication on you. It can make it seem like you didn't invest the money into high-res images that represent your product. So we want to get professional photography done if we can. Even going to like the Sears or something, when you do your about pages, or finding someone that can take pictures for you who has like I think it's DSL or DLR camera. That's the best thing to do if you can't go to a professional and do photo shoots. We suggest that. So as far as your copy, it's better better to bring in a copywriter. Images are very important for your brand, but so are your words. You need content that's actually written for the web. We do not want copy out there that doesn't make sense or isn't appropriate for what you're trying to do. So there are people out there who actually professionally write for the web. There are some people who write for print or for magazines, but you need to have someone who actually writes for the web, and in the and they need to interview you because they want to know everything there is about your business. As a partner, Vivid Visual actually sits down with you and your staff and will talk to you and ask you questions about the history of your company. What are your goals? We need to get into that. Who is your ideal client? We actually put together personas. If you talk to us about, well, I just cater to everybody. Nobody caters to everybody. There is an ideal person that you're trying to bring into your company. I mean, into and use your product, whether they be African American, they are or Caucasian, or if they're Hispanic, if they are female, or if they're male. Where do they live? What type of demographic are they? How much do they make? What do they like to do on whatever days, even during the weekend, or what do they do on the week during the week? Where are they hanging out? What kind of magazines are they reading? What kind of blogs are they are they reading every day? How do they spend their time? And a lot of times this is kind of overwhelming because people really have not thought about that. But it is something that you need to really figure out so we know how to create the messages in our copywriting in order to reel that person in. And we'll talk more about that as we go along. But the pages that you could possibly put on your website, and this is a basic website. This wouldn't be like a huge site, but you would have, of course, your home page. The home page incorporates the information about your products. It could incorporate a lead generation form, any kind of photos of your product, and what are the benefits of using your product or the features of using your product, and of course imagery. Then we would have the services page. The services page should incorporate information and descriptions of your service or your product, and actually tell people about it and tell them how it's used, what colors there are of it, how many can you get, how large is it, or whatever. It really gives a description. Your about page. Your about page is a very important page. It tells people who you are, what your values are, and how you actually work. Your history. You can put all that information there. And then also on that page, that's a very good page to show your offer again. Now you had your lead generation form on your home page, but a lot of people go to that about page to figure out who you are. It's also a good place to put testimonials, and you can put testimonials throughout the site, but you actually should put it on the about page. And your contact page, your contact us page should be a form, a way for them to get in touch with you, your address. Back to the about page. That would be a good place to put that professional photo that you took at that photo shoot. That would be a great place to put that. But your contact page also is a great place to put your offer again, have a contact form, a way for them to get in touch with you. All that information goes there. And then once they fill out that contact form, it's great to thank them. Just like when they come into your business, your place of business, and actually purchase from you, you always thank them. So that's a good thing to do for your Contact Us page. And then there's always a 404 page. This is a very important page as well, because say they came to your site and you took a page off your site, or they came and it really wasn't the information that they needed, then you need to have a way for them to find that page or recognize, oh, I'm sorry, you've come to the wrong spot or whatever, and then you can actually direct them to either to your home page or give them some suggestions. That's always nice. Or if you have a search on that page, that would be great as well. So this is again showing the home page. Actually, there's a form back behind here, and I didn't realize that I covered it up, but there's a lead generation form back here, which actually, if someone is trying, you want them to get on your email list, this would be a great place for you to put it so that you can offer them some kind of offering, some kind of I don't know, a free PDF or something in order to get them on your email list, and then you can send them a series of emails, actually telling them about different things you have going on, telling them about your business, and this way they get to know you and trust you, and then eventually come back and purchase from you. And it keeps you kind of top of mind. A lot of times, you know, they may have came and even purchased from you, but if you never get back to them and never talk to them again, they may not remember you. But if you're always in their email, you know, and sending them emails about whatever it is, you can send them blog posts, you can send them any kind of information. It keeps you top of mind. So when they need this service or product again, they go, oh, yeah, so Kai, she is doing sales, so that's the person that I need to contact. I need to contact Kai because she's top of mind at all times. As well as on the homepage, we've already discussed some things that could go on there. And this is an example of a service drop down. You can either have your services on one page, or it's better for search engines if you put them on several pages and give full descriptions of them and imagery, because search engines like Google, they love information, they love keywords. So this would help you in the search engines if you put them on separate pages and created a drop down. But of course, if you have a small amount of information or your budget is not big enough to have all these multiple pages, then you could put them all on one page, and of course whoever your designer is would make it so that it's easy to digest, because you don't want to put a whole lot of information and just have this block of text, because people are not going to read it. They're going to come and they're going to get overwhelmed and they're going to leave that page. So we need to have concise information, and a copywriter will help you with that. So this is an example of an about page, you know, giving you some information up here of kind of, she had quotes across the top of her image, and then she had her lead generation form on every single page, which is a good idea, and then some imagery and some information about history, and then she had actually a button that takes you to other places within the site, which is a good way to navigate you around the site, as well it gives you links that Google can see that how you maneuver through the site. So it's very helpful. And then of course down here we have integrated her social media sites. She has a Twitter account, so in your footer, you can do all these type of things. You can bring up your latest posts, and so that they're continuously on every single page. You can bring in your Twitter or your Facebook or any of your relevant posts there and show that, so that when people come, it's just another way to get to know you and actually connect them to your social media sites. So I would suggest that you have links to them at the top and in the footer, so that, you know, there's a way to connect with you and it's easy to find. And this is an example of the Contact Us page. You'll notice that they have a Google map, which means that they actually went and verified their Google page, which is very important for business. And this makes it so that they also will come up on your phone. You know, like when you're driving and you need to navigate, because they verified it with Google and got themselves set up on Google Maps, someone can actually find them with the phone. as well as they show their business hours. That's very good to have on your website, and it gives information, and then also the contact form, which is very important. But I would also keep my contact forms, short and simple. A lot of times, if you're asking for a full page of information from people that haven't gotten to know you yet and trust you, they're going to leave that form. They're actually not going to fill out all, 50 or 25 fields that you have on there. It's better to have maybe just the email, their name, their phone number, those type of fields. I think with this, because they're an IT company and their niche, they ask for a little bit more information, but you see that it is not a big, huge form. It's still short and sweet. People are very busy in their day, so asking them to fill out 20 to 25 or more fields is going to make them leave. And this is an example of our 404 page. People get pretty creative with them. This was a cute one that I found. But it just kind of said, uh-oh, you're on the wrong page. And then it gives you actual link suggestions as to where you should go, just to be helpful and maneuver you in the site so that you don't leave, which is always our goal, as you can see. We're trying to keep people on the site for as long as possible, and that makes Google happy, and it makes you happy because they might actually go and purchase some things. So another thing to put on our site, let's talk about features versus our benefits. So a lot of times you'll see on the site, you'll say, like these are examples of things found in advertisement. Self-setting clock. 50 numbers, speed dial, one-click financial reports, custom programs, open 24 hours, batteries included. These are facts. These are exactly what they are, what they say they are, just facts that are telling you the features of what's going on with these different products. But what does that mean to me? So the self-setting clock, that means it's convenient. I don't have to feel like I have to sit down and actually figure this thing out and maneuver all these buttons or whatever. It sets itself. And then, I don't have to type as much because I have a 50 number speed dial, or I have immediate information and prepared statements for my accountant if I do this one-click financial report. Or, because you're doing custom programs for me, you're uniquely designing something for me so that nobody else has this. And I can do something in if something is open 24 hours. So that means I can buy my product whenever I want. And batteries are included, so the product is ready for me to use right out of the box, which is great. So we would use these benefits on the website in order to reel people in and make them feel something. Like, oh my goodness, so this self-setting clock, I don't have to feel dumb because I can't do this thing because it's all these different gadgets or whatever. That's convenient for me. I can get it done quickly. So we would speak to that. When you think of the Super Bowl ads, they're talking to people about the benefits of things. It's a fast car, or it makes you look good because you drive a Lexus. It's perceived value. It's the value that it means to me. If I don't have to type as much, I can get things done faster. I can get it done. If the batteries are included and my product is ready to use, then I don't have to worry about my child, which I don't have a child, but I'm speaking as the consumer. I don't have to make my child feel bad or make me look bad to my child because the batteries aren't included and they can't just automatically start playing with whatever the toy is. It's a feeling. That's what commercials do, and that's the same thing that you need to do with your website. And this is What is it? What is in it for me? That's all that is, and that's just what we talked about. You just have to see things from the customer's perspective and try to put those benefits within your site rather than putting just the features. We have to figure it out and show them the value of it so that they'll actually purchase it. Another thing that we can use for our websites is a blog. And blogs are really, really good things to have. They are very powerful, actually, because they refresh our websites. And we can do it ourselves because now people have WordPress and have ways to do it without actually a designer. So a designer and developer can go ahead and set up your site and then set up this blog so that you can go in and you can add your own value, add your own human uniqueness to it, and create fresh content on a regular basis. So I suggest to people to blog like twice a month. And that keeps new information coming on your website, and if you decide that you want to promote something, that's very good information to promote on your Facebook page for your company or on your Twitter. You can tweet out certain things as well as keep connecting to your consumers and your users. They may comment, you can answer. This is all very good information that Google loves. And it actually, you can incorporate your keywords, and that can bring even more people to the website, which is what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring people to the website in order to sell more product or sell more services. So a blog is very powerful. And it may seem overwhelming. You may want to start with just one blog post a month, but you should start with one. So a lot of times I already got a website. I just want to get on Facebook. I don't think I need to, change anything on my website, even though I did just create it 15 years ago. Well, you need to go back and update it. It's probably some technologies, and there's so many reasons why, besides the fact that you want to look modern, you want to update your look, so when I come there, I don't feel like, this is outdated information. It's still, the copyright still says 2000 or 2005 or even 1996. Some of these sites have been out here so long, Google is not even paying attention to them anymore because they don't feel like there's been any movement or any fresh content on it is not relevant, and then they're wondering, why aren't people coming to my website? You can't just build it and they will come. It just doesn't happen. It doesn't. Again, it's your storefront. So we want it to look fresh. We want to be there to answer people's questions. We actually want to go and, take a broom and sweep the floor, dust it a little bit, give it some updates, make it look good, make it look inviting. That's all important. We need to keep that kind of stuff up. We need to keep our updates up. We can't just put it open for business and then go to lunch for 8 hours. You have to actually pay attention to your website. You have to come back to it and create add imagery, do your blogging, do some ads on Facebook to bring people back to the site, and actually, if you want them to continue to come back, you have to give them something else to look at. So, what updates should you make? If you have a new logo, if you've rebranded, you've changed your colors, that's good. That's something that you should do. You should keep your technology up to date because people will hack your website if you do not keep it up to date. If it's a WordPress site, then you need to actually go in and update your plugins. You need to update your SEO. You need to test things and see if it's actually working. If you find that some keywords are not working and people are not coming in, and you can look at your Google Analytics and to see whether the keywords are actually working, and change out. If you find that some keywords are not working, find some other ones that could work and try those. We want to bring customers back to the website, so we want to keep, like I said, keep adding new content and changing things out. The market testing, and that means we're looking at our Google Analytics, and there's things called bounce rate, there's things called conversion. All these things we would test. Conversions are how many sales are you getting. If you're not getting a lot of sales, there's something wrong in that, and we need to we need to pivot and try something else. If you're getting a lot of bounce rate on your Google Analytics, which means that the person is coming to the site and then they're just leaving right away, they're not finding what they want. So that's when we have to go back and figure out the voice. How are we speaking to these people? Are we putting our benefits on the website? Do we have the right copy? Do we have the right headlines that is reeling them in? Are we just using features, or are we actually showing them the benefits of our products? And the cleanup, again, cleaning up our technology, actually changing out images if they're old images, giving fresh, new imagery, new colors, or whatever. If you've updated the product, we should update the website. How are we speaking to them? Changing out our wording. All those type of things come into play when we say we're going to update the website. And it should be done on a regular basis. If it's not monthly, then possibly quarterly. It can be put on some kind of a schedule. Oops. So we talked about SEO, and that means search engine optimization. That is Google, Bing, and any of the search engines that we use on a daily basis in order to find information. We all would like to rank on search engines, and Google is the leader. So you want to be within their pages. You want to be on the first page, if not the second, and you want to be within 5 levels from the top. 5 of those. The content, that says the name of the business. It gives a description and a title of whatever the page is. You want to be within 5 of those. So in order to do that, we have to incorporate our keywords and actually plan it out. Decide what's our goal. Create a strategy plan that says we're going to try these particular keywords and see if Google comes in and actually takes hold and puts us within those rankings. It costs money, yes. To get to the top of Google, you're going to have to pay some money. But it's an investment in order to get your products out there. Google has like billions of people actually on it. So we want them to come in and look at it. How does it work? There's an algorithm that Google has, which means they have some kind of planned out thing that they look at, but really it's what's relevant to people. Relevant to people. What are they searching for? How are they searching? How are they saying it? That we have to figure out and talk to our customers and find out exactly how they speak. and we have to know how they actually type things into the search engine. How you look at yourself when you go to search something on Google. There's a certain way you type things in. Google recognizes those things, and if we can match that, then Google will send it to our website because, you know, it sounds the same. Or they even have some kind of way where, even though you might not have typed that in completely, they say, oh, this must be what you meant. So that's the way Google kind of works. We just have to get our sites up with our keywords so that it works, so that it matches it up. So we know for sure that our customer is king. So we need to listen to them and find out what they need from us and listen to their voice, as I said, and actually grab that. And then we need to look at our Google Analytics. This is a Google Analytic report, and this is what it would look like, and it's telling you all kinds of information about your site, how many visitors you got during a particular month, or how many visitors you got during a quarter. You can set the actual dates on here and look at that information and study it, make changes, go back and look at it again. It's definitely a great tool in order to look at and find out information. This also is another one of the reports you can look at. You can see your keywords on here and use those within your site and see exactly what people actually searched on, and Google might say, you know, this kind of looks like what you're doing, so we sent them there. So you look at these keywords and you can incorporate them into your website and see your conversion goals and things like that, and that's actually somebody actually purchasing from your site. We have to keep up with the numbers. Having your site under construction is not a good thing. You know, we have to make these changes and actually make sure we adjust our sites in order for Google and customers to come and use our sites. Yep, because if Google's happy, we're happy, the website's happy, and we're making money. So that's what we need to do. We got to invest in our own destiny and spend that money to find out what our goals are. So in order to bring people back to the site or get people to our site, then we need to go and grab our profiles on all these different channels. When they come up with a social media channel that actually is appropriate for your audience, whether they are on Facebook, are they on Twitter, are they on Snapchat, are they on Tumblr, are they on Google+, are they on Instagram? These are all things that your branding coach would actually help you figure out, and then figure out timing in order to create ads or create posts, because you don't necessarily have to do ads, but you definitely have to do posts in order to create some kind of a bond or create some kind of a relationship with your customers, because they are out there. I think Facebook has 4-point-some billion members right now. So does Twitter. Twitter has 1.5 billion or million. Those are a lot of people and a lot of opportunities where we didn't have that when we just had local businesses. So we need to actually grab our profiles, even if we're not using them. It's your property. If it has your business name on it, you should own it, because you wouldn't want somebody to go in and then when you're ready to use it, you have to purchase it from them. Originally, I think Twitter's McDonald's, I think with McDonald's, they actually had to purchase McDonald's because somebody went and grabbed it. And you know, then they're asking whatever price they want to ask. We don't want that. So even if you're not using it, go and grab it. I don't use Snapchat, but I went and got my Snapchat because it belongs to me. So go get your channels. And LinkedIn is a very important B2B tool, so you need to go get that. Excuse me. So we talked about social media ads. You see them now coming on your timeline where they may say sponsored. This is a great tool because when you think of the Super Bowl, I think we all watched the Super Bowl, and people spent hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars on that 30 seconds. It wasn't long at all, and it wasn't targeted. Whereas on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, you can create ads and target them directly to your audience. And it's for maybe $7 a day at the most, $3 a day, or whatever, which is it's minuscule when you think of how much advertising has cost in the past, as well as for stuff like the Super Bowl ads. So it's something that you may want to actually look into because Facebook by itself has its own algorithms that can push people and target them directly to your business. Can send it directly to your website, and you can create like a budget for per month if you want to do $10 a day, $7 a day. $5 a day, then that's something that you need to put together a budget for and make a decision to do it for however long. If it's just for a week or whatever, it's a good investment. It's good for us to get reviews. I don't know if everybody has seen Yelp. Or having reviews and testimonials on your website. All that is good information because we tend to go with products that people have already tried. I know I feel more comfortable. Like I actually had LASIK surgery a while back, and I need to get a touch-up. It's time. I think it only lasts 10 years. When I went, it was on referral from someone who went, and I would do that again. And that's the same type of premise when you get reviews on Yelp and those type of sites, as well as when you get testimonials, whether they're written or it's actually better if you get video testimonials because video is on social media and everywhere else is the most popular way for people to now get their information. So it's very important that we get those reviews. You can ask for them, and a lot of times people are willing to help you, and it's just something simple that they can do on their phone or whatever and just rattle off that they used your product and that they enjoyed it, and that could be extra pennies in your pocket because somebody was basically referring someone else. Use social media as a networking site. Kai and I think we met at a social media event, didn't we? Okay, so we met at a social media event, which we both found out probably through Meetup or one of those type of things. And we didn't talk on a regular basis, but she reached out to me on Facebook and asked me to actually do this webinar. And a lot of times I get clients that contact me via Facebook, so it's a very important way to keep connected with people. So social media, you can, if you're a Twitter person, you can connect via hashtags and things like that on Twitter. Or if you're a Facebook person, get involved with the groups. I'm involved with several business and small business women's groups on Facebook, when you're doing your events and things like that, sending out things on those channels is actually very helpful, because those are kind of targeted, because I know those people within that group are female and they're into small business. So, find groups that are appropriate for the business that you're doing, and actually start getting connected, start talking to people, finding out what they do, and possibly come together like has come together. We were able to find something that we both have a passion for, and actually come together and do this webinar. So, as a gift, because you have come on and listened to my rambling, if you act now between today and February 19th, which is Friday, you can have a free brand consult. And if a website is needed, usually I charge $2,000 for a website. It would be $1,500 because you were part of this webinar. So contact me. My contact information is here. Or I'm going to also put it in the chat box while we're doing questions and answers. So just get back with me if it's something that you're interested in and you're ready for a website or rebranding of a website, and we can figure it out. And that's the end.
Yay! Yay! You're going to take everybody off of mute, Lisa, if you can.
Yep.
And then if anyone
Hi, everybody.
Has questions, I got some questions.
Okay.
I was taking some notes, and it was, again, just kind of some questions that was, coming as you were talking. And one of the things that you talked about was the Facebook groups, right? So just how important are these groups? You know what I mean? Because, like, for example, if I have a product, let's say, for example, okay, I have a book, okay, I'm connected with like the author books, or the groups that have, that talks about authorship, right? So should my content be a certain way, or do I just say, hey guys, I got a book, I'm hoping you purchase it? What type of setup should I have when entering these types of groups?
Well, you have to look at the group rules.
Okay.
Because a lot of times they have certain days and times when you can actually post, and they have a certain way that some of them even have a certain way that you can post. Like you have to set up your post a certain way, and you have to say what you do or whatever. But I don't know that if you're in an author group that they would be the customer for you. Okay. You have to find people who actually read books within your genre.
Right.
And who would be interested in purchasing. Whereas the author, they would be great for a support.
Right.
Or if you have any questions, or if you need any resources. So I would look a little deeper and find a group where they're actually interested in your type of book, and then see, kind of hang out, answer questions, become the expert in the room, and then when it's time, when you're having some kind of an event, or if you're doing some kind of a book signing or those type of things, or if you have a book that just goes on sale, though I would definitely, look at how the post rules are, and then tell people about what I'm doing.
Okay. Now,
but really, you've already created the relationship because you've been in the group for a while, and you've answered questions.
Okay. Right. Okay. That's actually good stuff right there. And then you touched on blogging. Okay. I definitely know the importance of blogging, but hypothetically, hypothetically, you have a person who says, okay, I'm coming, all right, Lisa, I have a blog. Can I use that as my website, or do I need to turn that into a website in order to reach my customers? In order to, just I don't have $1,500. How
Mhm.
can I utilize my blog as my website? Is that even possible?
It's definitely possible, and there are ways to make money from blogs,
Okay.
actually through ads and becoming the word is escaping me, an affiliate.
Oh, affiliate
Becoming
marketing.
yeah, affiliate marketing and putting that those ads, and every time you mention a certain product, link to it, or if you have an Amazon store or those type of things, that you can do a lot with a blog. But you
Okay.
still should have some kind of an about page.
Okay.
You don't have to have a huge site, but you still need to give some kind of information as to who you are and why I should be purchasing from you, or I should be even taking your advice on certain things. And I think a blog, you should also have some kind of an email marketing campaign
Mhm.
where when you do your blog posts, you send those out, and then when you're ready to sell something, people are more open to actually purchasing from you because they know who you are. They've gotten to know your values and actually looked at the information that you give, and it's giving them some type of value.
Okay. Um, I don't know that this may sound like a kind of a crazy question, but at what point does one really need to invest in their website? At what point, you have so many people who, okay, I need a website, and they just kind of throw something together. But at what point do you really need to kind of up the ante on your website to really get those conversions going, to really get those, that traffic coming in, right? I mean,
I think as soon as possible. If even if you just went out and got a template, um, I think that everyone should have a website. I think it's very important, like I said, for credibility, so that people can actually recognize you as a professional business. But again, as soon as you're able, I would try to do things, even if you do things piecemeal, go get your pictures done, you
mhm,
know, at this one point in time, write the content as best as you can, but as soon as you can, try to find someone to who can write that content for you.
okay,
Even if you do some kind of bartering, if it's something that you do that somebody else might want and you guys barter off of each other, that's what I know. I remember I did that when I was just starting out. Um,
okay,
in order to get things done, if it was a service that I had, then I would give it, and we would switch services, those type of things. Or you could find um, someone who's in school that this could be a way for them to learn. You
okay,
know.
okay. Um, is there, I mean, you talked about, quite a bit. Is there anything, as not necessarily as a beginner, in business? I really want to go strong. I really want to just kind of hit the ground running, and but my finances may not be up to par, like that. I like the steps that you kind of gave, start out with this. If you have to barter, that's, do that if possible. Is
Mhm.
there any other type of advice that you would give us, especially, no, actually, I wanted to ask you about this too. You talked
Mhm.
about website security. That's not a lot of people don't discuss that. They just talk about the design aspect. Have a pretty beautiful website, great,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
why is it so important to have security, that security on your website? I sell, products. Okay, people pay through PayPal and all that stuff. So, I mean, aren't I secure because I have PayPal?
Um, Not exactly. You really have to find host hosting companies that are secure. I would definitely start there. I would find a reputable, and I don't mean GoDaddy because I don't like them.
No, no, no,
I don't like
not for
GoDaddy.
anything hosting. Absolutely not.
Yeah, not hosting, maybe for domain names,
Hmm.
but GoDaddy, because they're so popular, most people go to them, but they are not the securest.
No.
And you have to find a host that doesn't experience downtimes,
Hmm.
does, and make sure if you have a WordPress site that you keep your plugins up to date, because a
Yes.
lot of times people can go and purchase templates, which is fine. Um, Even though your look won't be unique, but at least you will have a website up. But then you also have to keep your plugins up. You have to make sure that the WordPress is updated on a regular basis because
Hmm.
they update it regularly. You
Yeah.
have to. Some of it I think automatically does it, but
Hmm.
you need to go in and check that website at least on a monthly basis in order to make sure things are up to date. Because if people come in and start hacking your website, then it's going to be a problem.
Hmm. 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 Okay.
And they'll start sending out things as you, or they could actually totally mess up the things behind the scene, behind the scenes. You have to also keep up with if there's certain code behind the scenes. If
Hmm.
there's like PHP, which is a coding language, sometimes there are some things that are unsecure with that you have to make sure are updated by a developer because you won't be able to do that yourself.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Um, any other questions, guys? Shantae, Javon, does anyone else have any other questions for her? Now is the time to ask.
I
I'm
have a
glad you
question.
guys like the information, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. I wanted to ask about. I'm sorry if you hear my children in the background. I wanted to ask about these colors. I want to go back to the colors from the beginning. I
Okay.
see my colors until I see that in what you showed. I thought I had my colors down, girl.
And your colors might be fine for your site. Um,
I
we would have
don't.
to talk about the mood and what you're trying to accomplish.
Yes, we don't have to talk about it. We don't have to talk about it. I have to go to your site. Can you please? What's your site so I could have it and go? I gotta talk to you. I gotta talk
Uh,
to you. Yes.
who's speaking? I'm sorry. Who's speaking?
This is Shantae.
Oh, okay. Should I say? I actually put it in the chat box, but I'll put it again.
The VBSOL.
Yes,
I got
that is
it.
the website. Yeah.
I got it. That was my only question was the colors. I have my fuchsia and I have my black and my gold. So I definitely
Okay.
I want to keep my gold, but when I seen what the colors mean, um I just my mind started really thinking about what it's not about us, it's about the client. So I want to know what the
Yeah.
client is gonna feel, when they come. I want to make sure that what the colors actually mean is exactly what I'm trying to portray.
Mhm.
So
Definitely, it's something to think about, as well as the fonts are important. You
Hmm.
know, if it's a feminine audience, then you can kind of go with a more feminine font. Whereas I'm completing a site for a politician, and of course we can't have feminine, flowery script on his website. We have to have some kind of a masculine colors as well as masculine fonts. And then he's also from Nigeria, so we have to also think about that side of his culture. All that kind of information goes into it.
Hmm.
yes, yes, I definitely understand.
Hmm.
This is great stuff. This is just great information.
Oh,
Um,
good.
I'm gonna if there is any more questions, I'm gonna stop the recording if that's okay. Are we? Shantae, do you have any other questions?
No,
Okay, give me one second. Or is there? I'm sorry. Before I press stop recording. Lisa, is there anything else that you might want to say? Any other additional information you would like to give to the people? Because this is, again, being recorded and we're going to blast this out as well.
No, just get back with me before Friday in order if you want to have the opportunity of the brand consult as well as possibly getting the website for the $1,500.
Okay.
That offer will stand only until Friday. I think that's the 18th, 19th, the 19th of February.
That's a national holiday.
And my website is Vivid Visual Solutions, which is vvsol.com. So you can contact me there via either the contact form or you can sign up for I think I have a PDF out there for 5 things that you can change on your website right now. Or you can just send me a contact form, or you can connect with me on any of my social media channels. And I hope to hear from you guys soon.
Awesome.
And thank you for this opportunity, Kai. I really enjoyed it. It got me out of my comfort zone, and I'm excited to hear what the other girls are gonna do. I'll be listening and supporting as well. So
awesome.
I think this is exciting to help other business owners out with what they're trying to do.
Awesome. Awesome. This is going to be